today's topic is, what does it mean being resilient? Probably you heard about a lot nowadays that, oh, resilience is the key and you need to be resilient to feel good and to be mindful and so on and so forth. So what does it mean actually being resilient? It has many sides of it. So people use this word for being resilient is like when you are very strong mentally and then you can stand the storm, no matter what is outside of you, you are always in peace. So basically you don't react for triggers, you are very calm, you just respond, not react. So you are actually able to control your emotions and then you're not getting on your emotional roller coaster. So resilient means like mental strength, but it also means physical strength. So when someone is resilient, we use it for mental strength, but it can show that if someone is physically sick, is actually reflecting their mental or emotional state as well, because we know that the physical illnesses has a root in emotional traumas. That's why they are physically sick, because it's piled up by years as a pattern, as it came to them basically through the triggers. They had a core trauma, then they had this pattern that it was coming as a learning or as a challenge to them, and then every time it came to them as a trigger, then they basically created more and more negative emotions, which was blocked their chakras, and then they started to create physical illnesses in their system. So then the physical illness is a sign that they have emotional trauma issues. They need to release those traumas to get healthy. So if you feel like, oh, I'm mentally strong because I'm not reacting, I'm kind of cool, but you are experiencing physical illnesses, it means you are not resilient. Basically, you just numb your emotions. You are processing the things from numbing yourself, basically. And then while you are numbing yourself, it's still hurting you inside, and then it's still causing all of those physical issues. So to be truly resilient, you need to see all of your conditions. I am physically fit, I am mentally healthy, I am emotionally healthy, I am in a good mood, I am in a high vibe. If you are that kind of person, then you can say, yes, I'm resilient, I'm feeling great. But if you have any kinds of issues, physical or mental, then you are not resilient. And then, of course, the goal is to be resilient, because that's when you feel actually happy. That's when you feel joyful, and that's when you can enjoy life fully. And how to become resilient is to make sure that you know, like, you can control your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. And to be able to control your thoughts, you need to reprogram your subconscious mind to make sure you have no negative thinking, right? You have no like ruining assumptions and ruining future predictions, basically, and thinking negative about situation and stuff like that. But you always think positive, you're always optimistic, you actually feel good about whatever you are thinking of. It's encouraging, it's positive. So if it's not the case, then you know, okay, I have negative thinking, so that's my belief. Subconscious belief is like telling me these things, and I need to reframe it. I need to start thinking differently. So you need to use like affirmations. You need to evoke that truth, basically, eventually what you are saying in your affirmations, and you're reprogramming your mind, then you are able to think positively. And then the emotion side is like not to react and then feel good emotionally, and then just finding always places where you feel peaceful and in harmony. You put boundaries. You also get so strong that you don't care what other people say, their judgments or criticism is just is rippling off from you. And then basically to get to that state is like you need to clear the past, because most of the time when people are on an emotional roller coaster is because they went through in the past certain things, which is now don't allow them to trust people, and they suddenly feel disappointed or feel betrayed or whatever when people are approaching them in a certain way, because that's what happened to them many years ago. So if you are able to release the core issue, what maybe happened to you at childhood, and you need that inner child healing, which also called like shadow work, because most of the time we carry some shadows with guilt and shame. So as soon as we clear those, then you will be able to be resilient because you're not going to get triggered anymore. You're not going to care about what other people say. You're not going to, react with anger or feeling sad or all kinds of way, negative emotions. And then you can really protect your physical health as well, because that's the key to your well-being. So if you want to make sure that you are proactive about your physical health, then it's again the healing of all traumas would be really a key point. I'm so happy when very young people coming to my, like in their 20s, coming to actually for healings, and I'm like, oh my God, it's so great that you came so early, because then you're not going to suffer from physical illnesses if we clear it now. Because then if you don't do it in your 20s or 30s, then eventually in your 30s and 40s, you're going to start to have those physical symptoms of all kinds of illnesses, which is the result of emotional traumas, which if you have been cleared like in 20s, you wouldn't have that issue right now when you are in your 40s or 50s, right? You can still do it. You can still heal from those things. But of course, it's not as easy than prevention, right? So I always say prevention is really the key and is really important in many cases. And with my programs, that's what I do. I help people with healing from trauma so they can prevent more physical diseases in the future, and also to feel good, to feel happy and joyful, peace and harmony. That's the key. Thank you so much for watching. And if you would like to have more information about that, just check out my free materials. I have free masterclasses and ebook down there. Thanks for watching.